We are discuss about a welding process, the outline of welding, introductions, welding process, fusion welding, arc welding, resistant welding, oxy-fuel welding, laser welding, solid state welding, diffusion welding, friction welding, ultrasonic welding, welding metallurgy, welding defects. The welding applications, the first one is butt welding, another one is corner welding, another one is lap welding, another one is lap T welding, edge welding. The welding process is defined as the two part to be welded end view before first one. The second one is cross sectional side view during welding, end view after welding. Third one, the types of welding: a fusion welding, a solid state welding. The types of welding is welded oxy fuel gas welding, another one is solid state welding. The oxylighting welding, pressure gas welding, the arc welding, shield metal arc, gas material arc, fusion arc, short circuit arc, electrocos spray transfer, gas tungsten, flux core, submerged welding, plasma arc, stud weld. Resistant welding is defined as types of three types: resistant post welding, resistance seam welding, projection welding. The solid state welding is forging welding, cold welding, friction welding, ultrasonic welding, exposure welding, roll welding. Unique process: thermite welding, laser beam welding, electron beam welding, flash welding. Introductions of welding, electron beam welding, physical welding. In physics of welding. In fusion welding, a source of high density heat energy raises the temperature of the surface enough to causes localized melting. If the heat density power divided by surface area is too low, the heat is conducted away as fast as it is added and melting does not occur. Arc welding: use an electrical arc heat and melt the work metal. Arc welding is segment diagram. First one, molten metal is included the productive gas for electro electrode coating. Electro wires is connected into the workpiece. Arc is produced, metal dropped, solidify. Weld is going on this process. Then this diagram is followed by the arc welding in industrials. This also same. A resistant welding: use heat and pressure to join the metals. The heat is generated by a resistance to electrical current at the welding point. This is an example into lap welding. Oxy-fuel welding: high temperature flame for the combustions of oxylighting and oxygen. Molten weld materials: the workpiece is molten weld materials. A filler rod connected into the welding torch tip. The gases is included in mixture of C2H2 plus O2 oxygen. Laser welding: the probably laser welding is used into the industries in laser beam metal. The metals can be used deep narrow weld. Fusion welding use heat and pressures join the metal by solid state fusions. The temperature is less than half the metal temperature. Friction welding. The pressure is frictional heat caused by mechanical rubbing, usually by rotations. This four diagram is fully discuss about the frictional weld. The ultrasonic welding use a rapid vibrations to break up surface films and heat the surface, allowing them to bond. Welded joint fusion zone, the area of base metal and filler metal that has been completely melted weld interface. A thin area of base metal that water metal or partially melt, but it did not mix with the filler metal. Heat effect zone, the surrounding area of base metal that did not melt but was heated enough to affect its grain structures. Weld metallurgy, the base metal and filler metal mixed together during metals forming and alloy when they solidify. The solidifications of metal can be considered as casting a small amount of metal in a metal mold. Stresses and distortion. The first one is butt joint is welded joint weld rod, arc welding original with welding defects, crack, fracture in weld itself or in the metal adjust to it, cavities, porosity and sinkages, voids similar to casting defects. Solid includes non-metallic solid material embedded in the weld metal. Welding defects, incomplete fusions, a weld base that does not fill the entire joint cross sections, imperfect shapes, and a weld that does not have the proper shape for maximum strength. Miscellaneous defect, arc streaks, damage from direct contact with an electrode. Inspection and testing. A visual inspection is normally used to visual examining the weld for surface weld. Non-destructive evaluate use various methods that do not damage the specimens. Destructive testing method in which the weld is destroyed during the test or to proper the specimen. Visual inspection check for confirmations to dimensional specifications of the part design, wrappage, crack, cavities, incompleted fusions and other defect visible for the surface. Non-destructive evaluations, a dye pattern and a fluorescence per entered test use dye magnetic particle testing, The ultrasonic testing, radiographic testing use X-ray, gamma to detect flaws. Destructive testing, mechanical test used weld joint. In the connectional testing, methods such as tensile testing or shear stress. Metallurgical test involved creating metallurgical specimen such as micrographs to examine the future of the weld. Thank you.